Hello Excel students, this is your questions instructor Heather Hines. Today we're going to be going over lesson 6 modeling basics. Now before you complete lesson 6, make sure that you are staying on track. So by now you should have completed the midterm and lesson 5 quiz. If you haven't, you should do those ASAP. Because it's now an online course, you need to make sure that you are staying with the course on the correct timeline. Because if you don't and you leave everything to the last minute, you're going to have a lot of trouble completing things. And if you need help, I won't really be able to help you because you'll probably be in the same boat with a lot of other people that are needing help. And so if you complete it as you go, then you can ask me questions as you go, and you can get more one-on-one help from me, your course instructor. So the setup for my videos is going to be this. I'm going to be doing one video for the lessons and then one video for the test your skills on a separate video if you need help. So let's talk about lesson 6. Lesson 6 is all about your what if analysis. It's talking about, hey, if you want to see what happens when different variables change, you're going to use what's called the what if analysis. It's a tool on your toolbar, and you'll see that in just a moment. There's 3 different types of what if analysis. There's the goal seek, which is the most simplistic, which is, hey, if you have a certain goal in mind. So for example, let's just say I run a little taco truck, and I want to say how much profit am I going to make if I sell, or if how many tacos do I need to sell if I want my profit to be 0. So one thing about goal seek, which is unique from the other 2, is that you have to have your particular goal in mind. You have to know, okay, I want to see how many tacos I need to sell if I want to make 0 profit versus $500 profit versus $1,000 profit. And you're only changing a single variable at a time, whereas the other 2 you can change multiple variables. Right, goal seek, one variable, you already have your goal in mind. Scenario manager is if you want to change multiple variables and or you have multiple scenarios that you want to put side by side, kind of like this right here. And the last but not least is if you want to see all of your information kind of in one nice neat data table. The only issue with doing the one-way or the two-way data table is you have to pre-set up your data table. So not really a big deal. All 3 of these, you have to tell Excel what is your equation. You need to, if you don't have an equation that links your different variables together, then it can't help you, all right? And the variables that you are putting in your scenarios, they have to be linked somehow into the equation. So let's see all these in turn. All right, so I love tacos, so here's my little taco stand. Let's just say I normally sell 500 tacos at 50 cents a taco. So I want to do some analysis. I want to know what is my revenue and all these other things. Well, revenue, you should know this, is your number of tacos sold times your sale price. Revenue is just how much money did I make. Let's just say, and I'm going to make this number up, let's just say that my fixed cost, every time I go to sell tacos, I have to pay the city $50. Right? Let's just say, and then variable cost per taco. Let's just say it cost me 30 cents per taco for the meat, the tortillas, all that good stuff. So what are my total costs? My total cost would be my fixed costs plus my variable costs times, that's 30 cents per taco, not just 30 cents. And I sold 500 tacos that day. So what would be my profit? It would be how much revenue I brought in minus my total cost. Okay. So notice how I linked my variables together by using equations. Now I can do a little bit of analysis. So I can do either goal seek, I can use scenario manager, or I can make a data table, 1 variable or 2 variable data table. Goal seek is the easiest to use. It kind of is like that quick tool. Set to value. The set to value always has to have an equation in it. If it doesn't, then you can't use that as your set value. So let's just say I want to know what is my break-even point. So I could say, hey, how many tacos do I need to sell? Or what is the sell price? So I can only change one of these variables. So tacos sold or sell price. Now let's go with tacos sold. So how many tacos, so this is going to answer how many tacos do I need to sell in order to break even? Break even means I have no profit, so I didn't lose money, nor did I make money. All right. And what's nice is it'll do, for GoalSeek, it always does it in place, so you kind of have to memorize your answer. So you're looking at tacos sold, so I would have to sell 250 tacos in order to break even. You can either press OK to keep this, or you can press cancel and it'll revert back to your original answers. So GoalSeek, your set value has to have an equation in it. Notice how it says it's referencing other cells, and you can only change one variable at a time. So I can't change tacos sold and sell price. I can only change one or the other. And I already know that I'm looking for a goal of my break-even point. And one of the downsides of GoalSeek is that you have to memorize your answer. So let's look at the other two. So the other two, what if analysis. The next one is scenario manager, very similar to GoalSeek. So I might say, hey, here are my scenarios. Instead of just changing one variable at a time, I might want to say I'm changing two variables at a time. So this would be, a lot of people just say scenario 1, scenario 2. You can label them however you like. So let's just say, hey, I want to change both of these variables at the same time, the tacos sold and the sell price. Sell price, okay. So scenario 1, I'll say, okay, let's just say, keep that as kind of my gold standard in my scenario. And now I'm having another scenario, so I'm going to call this scenario 2. It is automatically assuming that I want to change the same sales so that I can do a side-by-side comparison. And this time, it'll show me what values I used before. So this time I want to see, okay, what if I sell 500 tacos at 30 cents? No, let's say at $1. Okay. And then this would be scenario 3. What if I wanted to change, so it always gives me my original scenario. What if I wanted to sell 300 tacos at $1? Okay. And so on and so forth. I would make a bunch of scenarios. Then at the very end I would say, okay, what's the summary? So for the summary, you have to tell it, okay, what do you want me to tell you for the result? Do you want to know the revenue? Do you want to, which is a valid one because its revenue is based upon tacos sold and the sell price. Do you want to know the, or do you want to know profit margin? So your result cell, again, has to have an equation in it. So I say, hey, tell me what is my profit margin for those scenarios. Then it automatically pop up a scenario where it says, okay, so scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. So if the first scenario, 500 tacos at 50 cents, you're going to make $50. But if you up it to $1, then you're going to make $300. So your profit is going to multiply by 6 if you just increase your price to $1. But if you only sell 300 tacos at $1, then you're going to make $160. So that's kind of the nice thing about Scenario Manager. Let's go back. So Scenario Manager, it'll give you a separate sheet with all your scenarios side by side, which is really nice. And you can always add and subtract scenarios. Last but not least is the 2 variable or the 1 variable data table. Typically I see people use a 2 variable data table. So in order to do that, let's just say that you want to see what happens if you sell 500 tacos, 400 tacos, 300 tacos, 200 tacos, 100 tacos, 50 tacos, right? And you want to see what happens if you sell it for 50 cents, 75 cents, $1, $1.25, and $1.50. So you want to see all these scenarios. So it's very similar to Scenario Manager, except for now it's a little bit easier to read because I'm using the same 2 variables each time, and I'm just changing each one incrementally. So very similar to Scenario Manager, just a different way of looking at it. When you do that, in the corner where these 2 things kind of intersect, you need to have an equation of what you want. So let's just say I want to look at profit. Right? Profit is very important for businesses, so let's just say profit. So I'd either have to, in this cell, insert an equation of how these two variables are related, or I'd have to reference a cell that has an equation in it. Right, then I would highlight everything, including my equation. Make sure you include your equation. I would go to your what if analysis data table, and I'd say, okay, what is the row input? So I want to know, what are these values? Where are they coming from? So you have to remember that $50 is referencing tacos sold, so that comes from there. And what are these? These are your sale prices. So that's that. Then you press OK. One of the biggest ways you can tell, let me format this real quick. One of the biggest ways you can tell if it's correct is, you know that at 500 tacos, at a sale price of 50 cents per taco, you should have a profit of $50. So obviously I did something wrong. So let's go back and figure out what did I do wrong. So sometimes I switch up the two variables. So maybe I put my rope input wrong. So maybe my rope input is that, and I always get these confused. Alright, there we go. So you kind of want to play around with it. You want to make sure that you're putting things in the right places. I don't know why I always do that. I always confuse my row and my column. But you know, at $500 tacos, at 50 cents a taco, your profit should be $50. And then you kind of look at this and you're like, okay, well, this will easily show you what is your optimum price. And you're looking at it and you're going, well, you know, if I sell it for $1.50 and 500 tacos, that's my most profit right there. Alright? So that is how to use your what if analysis toolbar. We saw goal seek, we saw scenario manager, and we saw a two variable data table. Hopefully this was helpful.